Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Healthy Love. This is your host, Kenya Bolden, Kenya B, aka Kenya B. So today, I have a special guest on. We have D Schoon. We are going to be talking about the topic. Um, is there? We're going to be discussing. Is there an upside to marriage? So right now we're gonna start sharing it to our pages so we could have our invited audience join in. So I'm gonna go ahead and share that to my page and as well as D Schoon's page. And so happy to be on tonight of another episode of Healthy Love because we're trying to promote, great conversation based on relationships, healthy conversations based on relationships. And just to, bridge that gap between, you know, uh, men and women and how our thoughts are on different topics. And just so happened the topic tonight, like I said, is there an upside to marriage? I currently am single myself, so this is something that it's been on my mind quite some time. Just to know, because when as a single person, you have a lot of married friends. They share their experience with you, and sometimes you're firsthand, and you get to see their experiences. So let me go ahead and share onto my page. I would like to go ahead and have D Schoon share who he is tonight. Oh shoot! Hello, Mr. Schoon. Night. Welcome
Hey,
to
Miss
Healthy
Kenya.
Love.
All right, all right. Okay, everybody, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in, listening to our little conversation tonight on is there an upside to marriage? Now, my name is D Schoon. Um, those that don't know me, I'm the owner and president of iPrivate Investigative Solutions. That's a private investigative service that I handle cases all around the nation. I'm also the co-creator of Cops and Teens. It's an informational program I do in the high schools around the country also. I'm also the co-creator of Gentlemen's Talk. Do something similar to this. We tackle different kind of topics, given our own view on certain things. And I'm also the co-creator of the Family Business. I know I try to stay busy during this strange time. Spend a lot of time at home, so I've been trying to stay busy. I'm a peer counselor. What that means is I get involved with a lot of peers, my peers, and we do some one-on-one counseling. We counsel each other just to make sure there are no indications of anything wrong that we need to refer up the chain. We might need some help. I'm also a fitness instructor and a retired New York State Police supervisor in the Bureau of Criminal Investigation. So I was listening to Miss Kenya. She said she was single. Full disclosure, I too am also single. And I know you're going to say, well, how do you have information on marriage stuff? Take this perspective from a single guy. This is a single guy's perspective on the upside to marriage. Go
And
ahead, Ms. Kenya.
as D Schoon stated, yes, this is the single perspective as the upside. What is the upside? Is there an upside to marriage? Being not married, like we're only seeing on the outside what's happening to, like our friends relationships. We get to see what's happening just looking out on the outside. We're not in we don't live in those households. We don't know what goes on a day-to-day basis. See little um snippets of what happens. And then sometimes, I do have married friends they're like, you know what? I wish I was in your shoes. And I'm like, but why? I don't understand. So, some people find being a single person is it's easier. It's easier to deal with. But we just want to tackle onto that issue and just figure out. So what I wanted to do was tap into the statistics on Black marriage because in the Black community, we have 70% of women who are single, and this is our professional women. These are from professional all the way down to the working class women. So it's about 70 to 75% women who are single, and some of that contributes to men marrying outside their race, and and then just not having the connection with the Black woman. So those are some of the issues that come at hand. I have statistics on the Black demographics on marriage, and I would like to go ahead and share that with you so you can have at least an idea of these statistics, because these statistics are based on our census. We don't have our current statistics for this upcoming year because we just did the census just recently. We just finished our census about a month ago. So soon we will have those numbers, and I'm sure there may be a slight increase because during this pandemic, many people did get married. As far as how many African American people have done that, we don't have those numbers. But according to these statistics, I believe it's 2014. So I'm going to go ahead and share that. So this is from blackdemographics.com. This is based on the African American population. It's and in this it says it's believed that a large percentage of Black men marry white women. This is often cited as one of the causes of low marriage rates among Black women. However, is only partially true. While Black men marry white women at twice the rate that Black women marry white men, in 2017, only 15% of Black men were married to non-Black women, which is up from 11% in 2010. About 3/5 of those non-Black women were white. So there's evidence of an increase of Black women marrying out of their racial demographic. As a matter of fact, the Pew Research Center released a report finding that 25% of Black male newlyweds in 2013 married non-Black women, compared to the 12% of Black women who married out. However, Asian women and Native Americans still have a higher rate of interracial marriage. Black women were the least likely to marry non-Black men at only 7% in 2017, and only 4% were married to white men. So, Mr. Spoon, what do you think about those statistics on men marrying out of the race and demographics, of Black women being so high?
Well, my approach is a little different. We marry, they call it intermarriage, I guess. In some places, they speak of it as intermarriage. I don't really like to think about it like that. I like to talk about marriage as a whole. All of us, we talk about statistics. We think a lot of people are married. And I think these statistics came out in 2018. There's only 6.5 per every 1,000 people that are married. Begs the question of why so few You want to do the numbers, it was 2,132,000 people that are married. Half that, and you have the couples. Why? I think everybody's looking for that perfect mate. If you were to find that mate within your race, that's fine. But a lot of times, I guess, there are people that are finding it outside their race, where they are. I don't know how much emphasis you want to put on that for marriage as a whole, because marriage as a whole is difficult. You want to go in your race, out your race, up your race, down your race. It's difficult. So I think if we look in those little pockets of people that get married in different ways, I think I'd like to deal with marriage as a whole, the whole marriage spectrum, if you will.
Right.
Why are two people getting together, or maybe not?
Right. Right. So, as a single person, and your take on this topic, how do you feel there is upside to marriage?
I always ask the question, and that's the way I'm going to approach it tonight, to ask the question: is there an upside? And if there is an upside, what is that upside? More often than not, because of societal pressures, it seems sometimes that there's really no upside to it. I think if you look at the divorce rate, people stay married seven or so years. That's an average. The divorce rate is up near 50%. If you think of some professions, it's up near 70%. And it makes you ask the question: is there an upside? I like to explore. Usually, when I find myself involved with people, that's what I do. I ask them, "What's the upside? What's what's the good news here?" Everybody knows what they want.
Right.
Everybody has a list of all the things they want. But the other side of that is, when I come into a situation, what am I bringing? I like to look intrinsically. I like to look inside. What am I bringing to it?
Right.
What kind of hammer and hard hat am I bringing to this job?
Right. For people who are so when you think about marriage, if you think about like the Christian aspect of it, in the Bible it says in Proverbs 8:18, he who finds a wife finds what is good and receives favor from the Lord. When you hear that, how do you I mean, I don't know your background as far as that is concerned, but most people, a good amount of people, Christianity is very high a percentage religion practice within the U.S. and many other countries throughout the world. And when you hear that scripture, how do you feel? How does that make you feel?
Well, I look at marriage and the Bible and all kinds of religion. Marriage is a part of that. I think sometimes we make marriage the thing, and then we try to fit religion into it. I don't look at it that way. Marriage is a part of that.
Right.
Finding that connection is kind of what a lot of people are looking for. And I think a lot of people focus on marriage. They get to a certain age,
right?
They get to a certain time in their life, or whatever the case may be. Something might go in their life, and they look around and they say, "I want to be married." See, it becomes a thing. I want to be married. They look around and they say, "Wait a minute, let me see who's available." Hey, you. And to me, that looks like a beginning of failure, because you should be involved in a situation, a relationship, if you will, and I just want to be married to this person. I think I can't look around, and because if I'm going eeny, meeny, miny, mo, that's why they don't last. I think because it's like those of you that used to do computers when computers first came out, you program computers, Pascal, and in college when we were there, and you would program computer, and then you'd have that form enter button. I always said this: I don't want to be that form enter button. because you form enter, and all of a sudden you had this form, and this works, and this is what everybody should work with. I don't think it works like that. I think we should find a person, be involved in a relationship, have God in your relationship, and then the marriage being a part of that.
Right. Yeah, that's I definitely agree on that. Because that plays a big part when people are looking to step into that realm of life and getting married. They hold that to a very high standards, and when they're looking into for Christians, when they're looking for a mate, they want them to be practicing, hopefully practicing the same religion and all that. But in some instances, that's not always the case. And I don't know the challenges of couples who do not have may not practice the same religion. I'm not even sure how if that's even a complicated thing that happens within a marriage. But if you're really into what you believe, and if your spouse doesn't believe it, it does definitely bring conflict into the relationship. So that's plays a big important part in many marriages. So being a single person and having married friends and being on the outside looking in, have you seen positive relationships that you can say, you know what, this is something that I will definitely consider? Is it something that you would consider based on some of the relationships that you have seen amongst your friends?
So I was having this conversation just earlier today. Just happened to have this conversation earlier today, and the statement I made was, I've seen it, and I think that's part of the problem. Mm-hmm. I've seen it work. I've seen the beginning of it. I've seen it over a long period of time. I've had intimate knowledge of these situations, so I know it does exist.
Right.
Being a single person and a single person of a certain age, I get it. It does exist. The problem is I don't want to do it for a little while. The issue becomes we do it until I don't like you anymore, right? Or till something changes in my life. So once you see it and you know that it can work, mm-hmm. You understand it, you want it, you say to yourself, okay, it does exist. Because for a long time, I kind of thought it didn't exist because I hadn't seen it. Everybody was moving in their own way, getting divorced, in and out of it. So yeah, I've seen it.
And then when you hear your friends make those comments, I wouldn't. I have to get water. Oh my goodness. When you have your single friends and they tell you, hey, stay single, don't get married, it's the best decision that you can make. And I'm like, you know what? Well, I've never been married. So it's like, I at least want to be able to experience that. And I want to make sure I'm in the right space when I do, and I want to make sure the person that I'm with, we are at least on the same page and have the same ideas as far as what we want to do in the relationship, and once I get married, it's, that's it. I'm not trying to get married and then divorce or for it not to work, at this point in the game, especially when you get to a certain age, you're that's not an option, especially if you're thinking about marriage, if you're leading towards that. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're focusing on the marriage, and I want to leave that. Don't focus on the marriage. Focus on a person that I want to be married to. You know what I mean? You got to focus on a person, situation, a relationship, and I'd like to be married. That comes afterwards. I think we put the cart before the horse, and it becomes all about the marriage. right? All about, I got to be married, got to stay married. If I'm not married, the church says I got to be married. Other people say the mama says I have to be married. If I'm not married, I don't want to fail. I want to be married. I think we got to take the focus. If we put the focus on the right thing, I would think if I'm focusing on a person, then I don't think marriage is going to be an issue one way or the other. Right. I don't think it'll be difficult.
So I have a few comments. I have David Chan who's saying he says, "Nah, don't have time for dating anytime soon." So he's like, don't even want to date at this point. We have a comment from Julianne, and she says there are statistics that demonstrate, and I'm going to show it. There are statistics that demonstrate that people who are married make more money. In terms of the Black community, marriage may be for the first step towards building generational wealth. How do you feel about that?
I take money off the table. I know I'm gonna get a lot of pushback. Let me first comment to David Chan. I'm a man of a certain age. Maybe you are. I don't know how old you are, but dating, that's not a word. You don't even come out. See, it doesn't come out of my mouth smoothly. I look crazy dating at my age. That's ridiculous. I think if you approach life and people in a certain way, you come out, you're decent, you're straightforward, you're that kind of person, you will make connections with people. But to actually get on a dating app or go dating, it just seems so, nah. It's almost like being an old guy in a club. I'm dating. I'm my age. I'm still running out here dating.
Yeah. So it's like when you reach a certain age, you kind of want to date with a purpose. You don't want to date just
again, get rid of that word. I do everything with a purpose. When I meet somebody, it's with a purpose. I want to be involved in a situation. I'm doing it with a purpose. I have a purpose in mind. In those byways and highways, if you make a connection and this person happens to be a person you want to spend a little more time with, I see that happening. But going out with the focus of dating, I don't know if that works. When you're 20, when you're 30, even maybe early, it works. But after a while, it just doesn't work.
Right.
You just look crazy.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. I had shared on a page, and the question was, would you date someone exclusively long term who never wants to get married? How do you feel about something like
I'm sound like a broken record. Mm-hmm. If you're involved with somebody, let me get the word out. You get involved with somebody and they tell you, I don't want to get married. Why are we having a marriage conversation? Nobody asked you to get married. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not asking you that. We're just trying to be the best we can be, the best people we can be, putting our best foot forward, trying to be the best individual we can be and see what happens. I don't know how I'm going to feel 3 months from now, 6 months from now. Let's talk about the pandemic. Back in February, none of us know we were going to be in this situation.
Right.
So you have to deal. And for us to say, oh, in 9 months, I want to be, where's your plan? Your plan is jacked. So what I'm saying, let's approach a way I would like to approach it. And again, this is my perspective. Don't beat me up. It's my perspective. I approach things 100%, whatever I do, in the affirmative. Deal with situations as they come up. If I'm meeting somebody saying, I don't want to get married, well, have a nice day.
Yeah.
Because then to me, you got another I don't want to. You got a whole bunch of I don't want's that follow down there. Right. So I wouldn't have the marriage conversation on the first day. Go ahead. Sorry.
This is definitely something in your plan at some point when you meet the right one.
You just want to get me. Can you? You that hard reporter. Listen, here's the thing. If it comes up, I'm 100%. I'm 100% in there 100% ready, all of that. But if it don't come up, that's okay too. But I'm not sitting there going marriage, 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 because it's going to make me make wrong decisions.
Right.
I can't come on the live and hang out with Kenya because I'm only talking to women that I want to marry. Or come on, that's a lot. You know, where you could do things, live this life, and that could come up. If it doesn't, that's fine too. Sorry, go ahead.
When I have married friends that I have spoken to, and not just on one occasion, on a few occasions, I've when I asked the question, when you're seeking your wife, how do you know? How did you know this was the person that you wanted to get married to? And they said right away, when a man is ready, he's ready. I mean, I don't know if it's if it just on good, it's the timing is right, or they seek out this particular person, or just if it's a person that's in their life as a friend or whatever. But he told me, when a man knows, he's gonna put the ring on it, and he's gonna take that step and marry that woman. So like you saying, it could happen. So you can meet someone today or tomorrow, and it happens just like that quick, and that will be the one. Do you think that's a legitimate statement?
Yeah, I want to say yes, but I don't want to make it that easy. Mm-hmm. I don't want everybody sitting around waiting for the one. I think you have to actively participate in life, or you're never going to meet anyone, much less the one. All right. I think you have to actively participate. You have to actively, I do a workshop, man box, and I tell the kids, what are you putting in your man box? And when you meet that young lady that you say, hey, this is how I'm feeling, this is the one, what are you going to show her that's in your man box? All the stuff that you've been accumulating over all these years. And I want to think about it like that, not, okay, when I meet the one, I'm going to know I'm ready today. How about always be ready? Mm-hmm. How about always be ready for some positivity? How about maybe your bank ain't right?
Right.
You can still be ready.
Now, what if you're talking about bank? What if her bank isn't right? Is that a disqualification?
How do I say this? In dealing with this issue, I take finances and intimacy off the table. Watch the conversation you have when you take those two things off the table. When that's not your focus, because then that becomes your only focus and it clouds the issue. Take that off the table.
Okay.
Now make your list. Not just how much he's making, what he got, what she got, how's it. Leave that alone and deal with some of the things that really cause us not to connect. Go ahead.
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
So, I have a Julianne Stapleton, and she says, based on what you have said, that you will find something to disqualify anyone.
That comment and again, that didn't come out of my mouth. It's not a qualification or a disqualification. All right, it's not a test. It's not it's not any of those things. What it is I want to focus on us putting our best foot forward, no matter what we do. In doing that, in everything we do, people are going to want to gravitate to us. It's going to give you opportunities to be connected to different people in different places in different ways. You got to be open. I made reference to the pandemic. You don't know what you like. I didn't know I was going to like, sitting in my basement on the computer a few months ago.
Okay.
Guess what? I got to like it, So you don't know what you like. So it's not a disqualification process. And please don't take that from what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is we got to be open. We got to be honest. We got to be real and tell ourselves the real story so that we can put our real story out. Way too many of us are putting our representative story out there, and then we wonder why things don't work out, because it gets to a point I don't even know you.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying be your authentic self. And
let's elaborate a little bit more on that, what you're saying.
Okay.
People showing being the representative. So you're saying people come out, they don't show their true self, who they are, and it's just the person, you know, like you said, their representative. Before that, I want to, we have a comment from Dr. Tracy M. Phillips. She says, too many people believe that the state of being married is the key to contentment. Seek contentment in whatever situation you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a content person, that's what we want to gravitate to. Mm-hmm. I want to hang out with good people. I want to, if everything is me focusing on those two things that I left off the table, I'm not even going to mention them again. Those two things I left off the table, that's where our focus is. I think that's where we falter.
Mm-hmm.
Because we so focused on that, we make bad decisions. Mm-hmm. And then we stuck with those bad decisions. And then we got to go into survival mode. We got to go into fix it mode. And fix it mode, now we look crazy.
Right.
Because take those off the table. Right. Those things, all of us, I'm sorry, should be working toward being gainfully employed. Whatever you do, however gainfully, I don't want to put a level on it. If you make $1 or you make $1 million, same thing. But I'm working. I'm out here putting in work. Okay. I'm a decent human being. I'm open. Those things are given. Mm-hmm. Take those off. Mm-hmm. We can't focus on the givens, because what happens is with all the other stuff, the important stuff, the bar gets set so low. Mm-hmm. Right? We don't want to think about decency and stability. We don't think about that because we're so worried about them two things. Mm. And then the two things are straight, and then all the other stuff comes up, and now we got a problem. Houston, we got a problem. Mm. So yeah, don't and the doctor there was straight on. Mm-hmm. Don't marriage isn't the end all, and that's what I said in the beginning. We should really start marriage. The focus is toward marriage, because marriage is it's not a living thing.
But if you think about like on a Christian, perspective, they're marrying so they don't commit sin. So that plays a big part. And there's a large population of people who practice Christianity or some type of religious belief, and they go according to those values in the Bible. So go ahead.
No, I didn't want to make this about religion.
I understand that.
No. I'm trying to stay away from it. Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from it. But I'm not. I can't. All right, I can't do something to keep me away from sin. Mm-hmm. All right. The mindset is, all right, there are certain things I can do so I won't sin. Mm-hmm. The flesh is weak. We know this. You have to find something within yourself to keep you away from sin. Mm-hmm. Much too often, what you're saying is, I focus on my wife, is keep me away from sin. If I'm the sinner, church or not, guess what? Come on now. Mm-hmm. Right? Sooner or later, I'm a sinner. Instead of me finding those things within myself to keep me away from sinning, and then say, and then don't bring a weak sinner into a marriage, right? Why am I doing that?
Right.
Why am I'm a weak sinner and I'm bringing this woman? She wants to be married, and I'm thinking, okay, marriage is the antithesis to sin. Oh. No, one more married folks out there sinning like crazy. So again, we focusing on the M word. Let's focus on ourselves, being the best us. That'll take care of it. I believe that'll take care of itself.
I have another comment from Julianne Stapleton, and she says, men won't marry women because they get all the perks of marriage without any commitment. women need to stop giving away themselves to undeserving men.
Oh, is that for me?
It's her comment. It's a comment. I don't know. I think it's just a general comment.
Oh, okay.
It's directly towards you.
No. I don't mind. I just want. I don't want to. I got a big mouth. That's why you. That's why you hit me up, because I'll talk all night. Perks of marriage. Again, we focusing on marriage. I want the same thing to go on. I get what you're saying. My elders used to say, don't give the milk for free. Now we liken ourselves to cows and moose. Come on now. Here's the thing. Everyone has their limitations of who they are, what they'll do, and what they won't do. You stand strong in your truth. This is what I am, and this is who I am. Don't say to yourself, okay, I'm not going to do this because then I can't do this. See, then you're doing the same thing in reverse. Mm-hmm. Then you're not being true to yourself.
Right.
You can't have a relationship if I'm holding stuff over your head. You and I had this conversation the other night. It's the Helsinki syndrome. You want me to be in a relationship with you, but you want to hold me hostage. We can't do that to one another.
Right.
Let's be open. Let's be straight. Let's share our wants and needs and other things. And then move in our truth. Nobody's gonna make you do something you don't want to do. You can't say given what does she say? All of the perks. And you gotta tell me what the perks are. Nobody will tell you all the perks of marriage without the marriage. Well, what are the perks? Give me some perks. Mm-hmm. Give me some perks.
Well, I know there was when we had a talk about this a few days ago, and you said something about like a point system, right? Could you elaborate a little bit on that? What that is?
That was in the gentleman's talk. Okay, we can share that here. All right. So I had a talk a couple of months ago. It was actually kind of got heated, but it actually came out of men's 5 faves while dating. Okay, your 5 things that you look for, because some of my female counterparts wanted to get into, and that's what we're doing, get into the brain of a guy, so you know what he's thinking. And it's really not hard to do. So we were trying to share those things. And I took a little different take on it. I said I had a 30-point must system. When I was younger, long time ago, when I was younger, and I found myself in a position where I might have been dating different people because I traveled a lot, I was around. I needed a system so I can see, should I keep dating this person? Should I not date this person? Should I keep being with this person? And the regular things that we think about weren't working, because those things just make you make dumb decisions. So I came up with a 30-point must system. What it is 6 categories, 5 points each, depending on where each individual, and it was subjective to me, where each woman fell. She got a number value. I added it up. If the addition was 19 to 22, I should keep seeing her. If she was under 19, it ain't working for you. But it was a way for me to just see, okay, I'm just dating these people for the mere fact of I like what I see. That can't be. So I'm just gonna finish with the top end of the scale. I can get into it, but it's a whole show. We don't have time for all of it. 19 to 22, we can date. 22 to 25, we date exclusively. We are really getting into each other. 25 to 28, we are dating toward the ultimate. 29 to 30, you drop on one knee and you propose. That was my scale. So it made it easy just to put it on paper and see. If I have Kenya 1 and Kenya 2, she's a 19, she's a 25, I got to stay with Kenya 2. And it was easy for me. Oh, peace. but it was a way for me at a younger age, not now, I'm older now,
Okay.
but at a younger age, that was a way for me to see it and be clear.
So that point system doesn't exist now in your life. Like you don't have that system now.
No, because that was when I was dating multiple people.
Okay. Okay.
That was when I had, you're traveling, you out there running and gunning.
Do you think using that point system, you might have lost the one along the way?
No.
Really?
Because in the point system, it made it easy to see it on paper. Back then, my brain was, I like what I see.
Mm-hmm.
So I let all kind of crazy things get involved.
Mm-hmm.
I just like what I see. So I didn't have, the growth. I didn't have the information that I have now to be able to say, okay, let me use my brain, and okay, not just what she looks like. What she looks like is, and I think this might be important for women, men of a certain age, younger guys. I don't know what millennials are doing. I sometimes try to find out, but I stay confused. So men of a certain age, looks, I know it's going to come as a surprise, but looks are a lot less important when men get in their 40s. In their 50s, they're really not that important. It changes. What I mean is not that looks aren't important. Let me say this better. It's not your look is not important, but what you look like, I like. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because before, my 20s and 30s, had to be this, had to be that. You had this standard. But when you get at a certain age, what you look like becomes attractive. Mm-hmm. Whatever that is.
Right.
I don't know if I explained that.
Yeah, you explained it. You explained it. Now, Julianne went and talked about the perks.
Okay.
Of marriage when you're married. So of course it's sex, cleaning, kids, emotional support, financial support, cooking, laundry, companionship, being a nurse, and then she put laughing out loud.
Take my 2 out of there, and it's a whole different conversation.
Take what 2?
Take finances and take any kind of intimacy out of there.
Right.
It's a whole different conversation.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. If we think with those 2 things way too much, and they become way too important. Okay. And they just cloud the issue. I'm being honest. I'm sorry, fellas. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. It just clouds the issue. You can't make good decisions because I'm thinking about those 2 things.
What would you say the perks of marriage are?
I got a whole, you want to hear my list? I got a list.
All right, let's hear it.
I'm gonna go from top to bottom how I kind of think of them. How about that? Decency. Mm-hmm. A person's intrinsic decency, how they are. They a decent person. Mm-hmm. When they see something bad, do they just say, "Oh, it ain't got nothing to do with me," or they want to do something about it? Trust, loyalty, family, very important. Property, financial stability. I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about what do you do for a living. I can't stand when people ask me that. Mm-hmm. What do you do for a living? Yeah. Financial stability, though. Provision, your ability to provide. Comfort, empathy, common sense, problem solving. Your ability to be, if you will, the head of the household. Past positives. Right? I like to say anybody that I've dated in the past, I still got good relationships with. I don't hate nobody. Don't nobody hate me. Maybe 1 or 2, but I don't know about it. I don't past positives. Everybody wants to say, okay, these 10 situations I were in were bad because I'm a perfect person. No, that's your past positive. Coming in with no baggage. Right. I don't mean we don't have things that make us who we are. To me, that's not baggage. Baggage is you bringing things from somewhere else in. You going on a trip. You trying to live in my house and you going on a trip because you got Samsonite. You always got stuff packed up that I don't know nothing about. Yeah, those are my things. Those are my things. If you think about those things, no way did I say those 2 things. Leave them out.
Right.
We got to focus on these things, and this is the things that make you a person. If the M word comes along, comes along. If it doesn't, that's okay too.
I have another comment from Dr. Tracy Phillips. She says,
who is this woman?
Commenting to Julie, and she says, I don't believe men are that primitive. What about love? What about a desire to just commit to a certain woman? I wouldn't want to marry a man who wanted to marry me because I do laundry or have sex. So she's just responding back to
the
perks that, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
And then we have Daphne says, working together towards a common goal.
All right, I'm with that. Yeah.
And then again, see Dr. Freeman, she commented again to you. D, do you believe that one reason men aren't drawn to committed relationships is because they have more options?
Nah, because it's not one. To me, it's not one or the other. It's not. I have options, so I don't have to be committed. All right, I have an option, and I'm just going to liken it to something so you get to where I'm going. Okay, I have an option to work 40 different jobs. When I pick a job I want to work at, I commit to it. I don't say I'm not going to commit to this job because I have 40 other options. Same type of thing. When you find something that you like, love, and want to do, you commit to it. It don't matter how many options you have. Matter of fact, the person that you commit to should want you to have a lot of options. You know, I used to say, I've never, little transparency. I've never proposed to anybody. I just never been there. Mm-hmm. And I want to be able to say, as I get older, one woman to say, you know what? He ain't never want to marry nobody else other than me. He ain't never want to pose. He ain't never bought no rings. He ain't never been begging on no knees, baby, please, baby, please, baby, please. None of that. Mm-hmm. You stay committed to what you want to stay committed to. Options. You want somebody to have options. Why you want somebody that's like, come on, nobody else wants you. Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like once people connect and they have that strong connection and bond, and they lead themselves to the ultimate goal of marriage, I think the relationship it just gels, it just works, it just you're building towards your goal of being together for a lifetime. And I think most people, that's what they're seeking. And there's maybe there are people that aren't seeking that, but I know at this point in my life I'm definitely seeking that, so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, does it have to be one or the other?
One or another, other as far as whether it's choosing to stay single or.
No. We said, it's not choosing to be married, choosing to stay single. Why not? I said it before. Let me put my best foot forward, and she comes across my path, or I meet her at a job or at an event, or heck, on a Facebook Live. You meet her and you say to yourself, oh, okay, all right, I wouldn't have thought that yesterday. Mm-hmm. But if I'm so wanting to get married, you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I might overlook her. Mm-hmm. Because I'm so busy trying to get married. And you said something earlier, somebody telling you, I don't want to get married. That might be the person you met. You don't know. Mm. She might have not wanted to get married till she met you. Why we want to be married to everybody? Everybody want to be married to everybody else. That's why that's why I think it don't work. Everybody won't be married to everybody else. I can marry her or her or her or her or her or her or her. My focus is skewed. Right. How can I do that?
So Tina Freeman made a comment. She says, being a woman of a certain age, I would like to be in a situation and let things happen naturally. No expectations. I believe a situation will be what it's meant to be.
Yeah. That's kind of my little mantra right there. Let it be, man. Put your stuff out there. Get your hard hat on, get your hammer, your construction belt, your wave boots. Get out there and get to work.
Right.
Smile at somebody. Good morning. How you doing? You all right? All right now. Keep yourself together. All right, you good? That's a pretty mask. That's a pretty how things going? How's your life go? You all right?
I even think more than ever, because now that we're being in this pandemic, people definitely at this point do not want to. People are seeking. People want to. Being that we're in this pandemic, it makes things a little more difficult because one, we can't go out, we can't go, to the restaurant. We're limited to where we go. So you may come across your spouse in the grocery store or the laundromat, or like these, which these are places people have met before in the past. But we're so restricted, and then being that we have a pandemic, we're covered. We don't know what we look like. Although in this time, people have connected in this time, because now there's a mystery there. Oh, she has a mask. I can't see her face. I'm just seeing. So it's like people have been connecting during this pandemic. So I mean, it goes to show people are.
I'm an overly affectionate guy, so this is really rough for me. Locked up in my basement, shades pulled, it's crazy. It's reminds me of what we were talking about when we talked about sin earlier, right? So right now, me being my overly affectionate self could be dangerous. Even to come close enough to you to say, hey. So we have to have this ability to say, okay, let me sit down right now. All right. This is what did you do during the pandemic? I sat in my basement. You know what I mean? What did you do? Is that thinking about other people? I know some people got to work. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about not just working. I'm talking about the other things we decide to do. Thanksgiving is coming up. We making decisions. You want to be married and all these things, but are we doing things that are pushing us toward that direction? Now, we can't be married if we ain't here. Huh?
I was thinking too, meeting someone in this time is definitely challenging too, because especially when people have their lists, their expectations, what they want in a person, and now during this pandemic, we have people who've lost their jobs, people have lost their homes, their cars, and all these things. So those material things that come in play, or sometimes men use those things to attract the woman, and those things are really kind of coming out of play. So you have to really tap into your authentic self,
But maybe that's that's the beginning of what I started with.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm always decent, always on my game, I got so many people around me. My infrastructure is crazy. So when some of my friends are falling down, I prop them up. They just friends now. That's the kind of person I am. If I fall down, they prop me up. My conversation about let's be our best selves, because then these times aren't that difficult. Then I'm not out here in these streets with, in this pandemic without no job, without no house, by myself. Because I should have an infrastructure. I should be able to go live with my man. I should be able to go live with my girlfriend. I should be able to go live with my dude over here. I should be able to go live with my auntie. But because we make decisions based on a limited view, now we don't have anybody to go to. Now, where's your game now? You know what I mean? Now you had that list. All right, had to be this, had to be that. He's got to be 6 foot tall. He's got to be, you had that list. Right. Where's that list now? We ain't got no place to live. My list is moved.
It becomes distorted because of the times that we're in. And I mean, not for nothing, there are a lot of people that even, broke rules, boundaries during this pandemic as well. Anyway, we
I'm
still
sure.
have, people being unfaithful to their spouses, and
Oh, well.
pulling
Oh,
their, marriages, marriages crumbled during this time.
uh-huh.
Some marriages got stronger during this time. So definitely was a test for everyone. A test for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's what we got to be tested, man. We got to, everybody is okay when things are going good. I don't really look at people and get an indication of people when everything is going great. It's wonderful. We're happy. It's sunny outside. How do you handle things going bad, man? How you gonna handle if a pandemic comes? How you gonna handle when we lost a job, or one of the kids has an issue, or how you gonna handle that stuff? That's how we should look at each other. Who's in there that can put the hard hat and the hammer? Who got hey, that's what we talked about when one of my things is problem solving ahead of the household. You want to be that person to say, I got you. You down, I got it. Not you down, what is we gonna do?
Yes, and in this pandemic, it definitely forced people to do things that they haven't done in a very long time.
Yeah.
Like you said, put that pick up a hammer.
Yeah.
Take out those cooking utensils that you haven't picked up in 6 months to a year. So
we had to go old school. We had to go old school.
Yeah, and I mean, you've seen it during, like, on Facebook, you would see people's posts of what they were cooking, and things that they built, and new hobbies people picked up new hobbies during this time.
New languages.
Yes.
But that's making good use of your time. That's the best thing you can do.
So I have a comment from Daphne. She says, isn't a list similar to a rating system, just without numbers?
That's for me?
I believe so.
No, the list for me is not ratings and numbers. It's I need a partner. I'm not guaranteed. I try to take care of myself. My health is not guaranteed. Something, the doctor give me a dun 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 tomorrow. But I gotta have, somebody who's a problem solver on my team. Because we both gonna die. You know what I'm saying? So you want to have those things to say, okay, I can lean on. And here's the thing. And I'm a guy and I date women. I just want to say full disclosure. So, because when I say women, I don't want you to think I'm just guys talking about women. Here's the thing. If you don't know what to do, go get you somebody that knows what to do. If you're not good with money, I'm not mad at you. But find you a person that's good with money. What you think I should do with this money? How you think I should pay? You know what I mean? We so much think, because we can do it, just because you can do it, you do it. But sometimes I'm not. If somebody's not a good problem solver, holler at me. I'll tell you, no. Whenever you think about something, the problem isn't that you don't solve the problem the moment something goes wrong. When anything is happening, this is me. My brain goes into 50 directions. If that happens, then that. If that happens, then that. Because my friends ask me all the time, yo, I just told you 2 seconds ago what happened. I already got a plan. But some people aren't built like that, and that's okay. Then get you with somebody that can give you some of that. So it's not really a list with numbers or a value system. It's saying tools in our marriage belt. Since this is a marriage conversation, I put a hammer in there. I got to put a screwdriver in there, a pair of pliers, an Allen wrench. You got to put all that stuff in and if I don't have it, I got to find somebody to teach me to show me how to get one, or at least show me how to use one.
Yeah. I was going to say too, during this pandemic, I think people also it seemed like people were very careful. It don't seem like, I just feel like people were very careful as far as connecting with people during this time. And I think some of a lot of those dating sites kind of suffered because of it. you know, because people were so scared of going out and meeting people, and you know, because it was people were losing their lives, you know.
It was funny, you know. We had some, you know, back when I was younger, we had some menial diseases. They weren't so drastic, and then years later, we got some major diseases. Now it's straight death. It's straight, you know, you think about it, oh, it's straight death. It don't get much worse than that. So now, hopefully, we will building up our tool belt so that we can deal with, okay, death. If I have to, I got to deal with that. If I don't have no tools to deal with that, then I'm gonna suffer.
Right.
I'm gonna suffer. So that's my building up.
I have another comment from Tina Freeman. She says, I think now is the perfect time to see people for who they are. It's what you do and how you act during the hard times that show who you really are. The outside appearance is nice, and you definitely have to have attraction. However, a genuine heart is what is most important to me.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you. Yes, 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 yes. I like that. Well said.
Yes.
Well said.
Yes. So we are running. Actually, we have run out of time.
Uh-oh, we out of time.
Run out of time. So what we will do is we're gonna have to come back to, we have to revisit this again, because you know this was such a great conversation, you know.
Yeah,
So
good.
thank you. I want to thank you for joining me on Healthy Love. This was definitely a great conversation, a healthy conversation, and it's something that we definitely need to continue. Hey, Belky, Eves. Belky usually comes on and she just couldn't find the link. I'm so happy that you joined in. Thank you, Tina, for joining in. I appreciate your comments and everything that you've said tonight. Thank you so much for that. And I'm so happy for everyone who has tuned in. I'm gonna go ahead and because it didn't go onto my page, so I'm definitely gonna do a watch party so everyone could rewatch this, because this was definitely something that you don't want to miss. It was a great conversation. Dee, if you wanted to let people know how they could contact you, I know you said you have another show. Tell us about your handle, your social media handles, if people want to follow you, and also tell us a little bit more about what you have coming up next.
Okay, really quick. First, thanks everybody for watching and let me be myself. Sometimes that's a little hard to take, but I appreciate you enduring me. You can get at me, like I said, I'm the owner of a PI firm, ipisolutions.co, not com, .co. My Cops and Teens program is copsandteens.net. The two programs that I have, I may cast them this way. I like the way this works a little bit. The Gentleman's Talk, and also the Family Business. That's gonna jump off really, really soon. Yeah. So we're just doing things. We're staying busy. I'm a conversationalist. I got a million things I can talk about. So, oh wow, okay. I saw the comment. That's awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed talking to you. So we're good. Did I forget anything, Kenya?
I don't think you did, but thank you everyone for joining in. I'm gonna put this as a watch party on my page. Dee, feel free to put this as a watch party on your page as well. Definitely was a great conversation, something that we have to do again. And thank you for everyone who joined us tonight on this topic of healthy love.
Yes, healthy love.
Thank you, and good night, everyone. Good night.